Okay, so this video I'm making today is to show you how to make a lentil and brown rice meal for your dog. My dog is about 75 pounds and this will yield about 2.5 weeks of 1 cup servings. The recipe comes from this cookbook here, or this nutrition book for dogs and cats by Dr. Pitcairn, and it includes brown lentils, tofu, brown rice, tahini, liquid aminos, some turmeric and mushroom seasoning. I use basically any fresh vegetables I have around. Some of this will be split into the next meal that I'll be cooking. I also use flaxseed, nutritional yeast, apple cider vinegar, and then this is really important here, this is the veg dog, and that provides all the nutrients that your dog will need, including things like taurine. Okay, so here is where I have everything prepped. I've pre-crumbled up the container of extra firm tofu. I have 10 cups of water that I use. I have processed up all of the vegetables that I had on hand, and it really varies. If I have fresh or frozen, it doesn't really matter. And I did use mushrooms, and that's perfectly okay and actually really healthy for dogs. That's a misconception that mushrooms are not good. I have my 2 cups of dried green lentils and 2 cups of brown rice. Here I have 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. I have 1 teaspoon each of turmeric and some Trader Joe's mushroom spice. I have here 1.5 tablespoons of tahini. Here I have 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I actually have started adding miso to my recipe, so that's a tablespoon of miso. And here we have the tablespoon of ground fresh flaxseed. And here is the 1.5 tablespoons of the Veg Dog supplement. And last, here is a tablespoon of liquid aminos for flavor. And so the first thing that I do is I just grab the water, and I already have 2 cups in here because my container only holds 8 cups. So I put in my 8 and now 10 cups of water, and I'm going to add my lentils and my rice. And I'm going to get this to a boil. And my spoon, just around a little bit. And I used to cook this first and then put in all my supplements, and I've learned that it comes out better and it's much easier to do if I put everything in at once. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to add the rest of my supplements. I'm going to add my nutritional yeast, my spices, cider vinegar, brown flaxseed. A bit more spice in there. Come on. My Veg Dog supplement. And my tamari, or liquid aminos for flavor. And miso, because it has really good health benefits. And then I'm going to have to pause for a minute while I get the tahini in. Okay, so I'm going to give this a stir. Make sure everything's incorporated well. And then I'm going to add all the chopped up vegetables. And the more finely chopped up, the better. It's easier for your dog to absorb the nutrients when all the vegetables are broken down already. Okay, so now I'm going to add all my vegetables. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a stir around. And basically what I had on hand for vegetables for this week, I had red pepper I needed to use up. I had some celery and carrots. I also added some fresh dill and parsley, and what else? I had mushrooms, and then I had some frozen chopped collard greens. I really try to push the green vegetables because I know they're so healthy. And so that's really it. And so I'm going to bring this to a boil and then let it simmer for about a half hour to 45 minutes for all of the water to be absorbed. And towards the end, that's when I will throw in all that tofu. So we'll check back in a little bit when this is simmered down. Okay, so at this point, it's probably been a good 30-35 minutes that this has been simmering. Stir. And you can see that it's thickened up a lot. But this is the point where I usually add the tofu. This is going to suck up a lot of that water too. Just drop that in. And give it a stir. And then this will go on to simmer for probably another 10 to 15 minutes, and then you'll see the final product.